Howdy y'all, Dean Stilley here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead music news. Reporting on Dead & Company, the final tour. So we're reporting on the final show of the final tour. This is the final review of the final show on the final tour. So that's a lot of finality there. Mamma mia, this could be the last time, I don't know. Hey! I hope it doesn't suck, because this is it. After this, I gotta disappear into relative obscurity. I might be there already, I don't know, but this could be it. This could be all we get ever. I could just disappear, the band could disappear, or there could be more. Who knows? Well, you can never tell. So here we are wrapping things up, which has been a great tour. I thought it was so interesting that this whole thing started, this final tour started in Cornell there, Barton Hall, and they just picked up enough magic in Barton Hall to fill the rocket ship and just sprinkle that magic all over the country for late spring and early summer here on this tour. This was a great tour, and it was interesting because, you know, it's Cornell 77 is this tremendous piece of Grateful Dead history in a year that was just a tremendous year for the Grateful Dead. And when I look at Dead & Company's existence, 2023 is Dead & Company's 77, if you ask me, as if you can follow that. I think that this summer was the kind of Dead & Company's equivalent to what happened with the Grateful Dead in 77. I think Dead & Company played their best music this tour, consistent and really just a lot of great shows and a lot of great music being played, band sounding huge, and really it might have taken 8 years to really get it, but boy did they get it, and did they give it out throughout the summer. There's no doubt about that. This has been an outstanding run. So funny how they fueled the rocket ship in Cornell, just like back in 77, there was still enough magic that was left over there, and so they carried it with them, sprinkled it all over the country for what seems like a couple months now. Been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. So here we are on night 3. So glad that I was able to be in attendance. And I'm all out of special guests. I look around here, no special guests left. There's no special guests in the room. Just like Dead & Company, no special guests. I'm glad they didn't have any special guests. I don't need special guests. I think seeing the band is special enough. I don't need anyone else out there with them. So anyway, we get night 3 started. Funny, I'm walking in on night 3, and one of the employees there, you know, as you're going in at the gate there, stopped me and asked if they could get a picture with me. That was funny. Didn't expect that. Didn't see that coming. You don't expect that from the employees in there, so maybe you should when you're there at Oracle in San Francisco. I thought that was a unique thing. Big thanks to all of you. You were so good to me this week, and I got to meet so many of you, and you're always kind and gracious. It's fun to see you. The Milwaukee Dogs I ran into, and so many of you. I got a shirt. I got a fantastic shirt somebody gave me on the way in. I absolutely love it, and I don't remember who it was. It was a frenzy of a weekend, but Andy, thank you so much for the tickets for Friday and Sunday. I can't thank you enough. What a blessing that was. And my buddy Anthony hooking me up Saturday. This was a dream weekend. I was so happy to be part of it. So we get in there, we're excited to get this thing started. You know, a weekend like that goes so fast. The only thing that goes super slow when you're at shows is the hour before the band goes on. Time goes absolutely nowhere, and intermission time moves very slow. The rest of the weekend, boom, gone in a flash. The hour before the band starts an intermission, that's when time just seems to take forever. Anyway, we get this thing started with Bertha. Band comes out. Mayor, he's dressed like a fucking astronaut. He looks like he's going to take his Dead & Company money. He's going to go to the moon with Amazon, or take a trip to space there. So he got his uniform already, got the astronaut suit on. Oteil, I see Oteil. Looked like Garcia was making a pizza or playing with cocaine or something, and smacked Oteil on the side. He got Garcia's handprint on the side of his head. I thought it was outstanding. This is a band having a great time all summer, and out there to do it one more time. And so there you go. Open the thing up with Bertha, and Bertha's good. Nothing wrong with the pace on Bertha. Goes right into Good Lovin', little Bertha, Good Lovin'. There you go. That's It's a hot mix-up for this band. They liked that couple kind of sitting together, and they look good together. It's a Birth of Good Love in 12/30/89. I was always surprised 12/30/89 wasn't a candidate for an official release, because that's just a monster of a show. And I'm not sure that the tapes that exist, the recordings that exist of it, have ever sounded all that clean to me for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe the official in the vault, I guess it'd be as good as you can get what they got in the vault. It's an interesting show, because the only show in my lifetime of seeing shows, no glasses on Garcia. Garcia didn't have glasses on that night. That was interesting. I have no idea why. Maybe stepped on him before he came. I always wondered why I didn't have glasses on that night, but no glasses on Garcia. 12/30/89. Absolutely killed it. That show rocks from beginning to end. Check it out. So here you go. We go from Good Love, and I like it. Weir embellishes the end. He wears it up there at the end of Good Love, and he is. Who needs it? Ha! And we love that. He's doing his thing. That's into Loser. Loser finds some spots that are absolutely furious, and we love to hear that. And then you get High Time. Oteil was unbelievable on High Time. Oteil on High Time. I think we've gotten to the point now in this 8-year journey with Dead & Company that there's been enough happening in us and around us and through the scene and stuff like that, and personal lives and growth and change and death and everything that kind of makes these songs a deeper part of our experience. And you can just tell listening to Oteil that his experience in life over the past decade has completely changed his connection to that song, deepened it, and it was evident in his singing. I thought it was outstanding. So glad I got to hear High Time. Samson and Delilah up next. I was grateful on Samson and Delilah that you get the drum intro, because the last time they did it, they just started it like a cappella, just started singing, and I think that song needs the drum intro. They didn't have everyone else playing, but we at least got the drum intro when the lyrics began, and the jams throughout that, fast and furious. I mean, this was a great time. They absolutely killed Samson and Delilah. Love to hear it. There you go. There's your Sunday favorite. So Althea up next. Althea, here we are. Mayer's introduction to All Things Dead by way of Althea. This is the gate he walked through, and so it had a lot of meaning. It was special, and I'm glad that after all these years, it used to drive me nuts looking through, listening through reviews I made the beginning of Dead & Company up until really like last year or something like that. Mayer finally this past year has cleaned it up, and now we get Can't Talk to You Without Talking to Me, which makes me extremely grateful. So anyway, there you go. Althea was great. Dear Mr. Fantasy, Hey Jude up next, and for some reason my mind during Dear Mr. Fantasy, Hey Jude went to 10/19/89, and I don't know why it did. But for whatever reason, that part of it's like your memory banks just get hit by certain things, and you connect them to certain dates. And for some reason, that date, when I heard Mr. Fantasy, Hey Jude, that's where my memory banks went, which was significant a little bit later. So the Hey Jude, always wished Weir would embellish the end of that. Hampton, 89, 10-9, that whole stretch, fire. Listen to Weir and Brent embellishing the end of that Hey Jude, and they're just absolutely killing it. So everybody had a really good time with the na-na-na-nas, and the whole stadium na-na-na-na up a storm, and that's a great one. Always love to hear that. They finish things up with Birdsong. There you go. Birdsong's got a ton of avenues for interesting musical conversations, and that one, time and space was bending on us, and they were mashing it up, and we were in the midst of the stew, just happy to be alive. Absolutely grateful that we were part of this one. So there you go. They ended the first set with that. I really thought you get another one in there. We started early, and it's the same curfew, so it's seemed a little bit brief at the time to end the first set, but it was a fine Birdsong nonetheless. So here we go. We're intermission, where time moves incredibly slow, and waiting on what comes next. And here's what was interesting with the way my mind went to 10/19/89 during that Fantasy Hey Jude, because they first half of the second set, Help Slip, Frank, Estimated Eyes. There you go. There's the first half of the second set, 10/19/89, and this was outstanding. This is in 2023. Dead and Company, different band, different sound, different thing altogether, but anyway, got enough of the same faces up there and the environment, enough of the same faces in the crowd, and big show and big music and all this stuff to be able to make that emotional connection strong enough that this is fuel for the emotional fire for years and years to come, being part of this. The Slipknot, absolutely amazing. During the Slipknot, I mean, that thing was moving. We were covering some serious ground. In the middle of that Slipknot, there was a time I was riding a unicorn over the rainbow in the land of cupcakes. I mean, everything was exactly as it should be. A furious Slipknot with no let up at all. That goes into the Franklins. Everybody's going to have a great time. Hands up in the air, hair flailing, everything moving. You look around you, it's just a sea of joy that you're floating in, and that's what Franklin's was like. We were breaking it down hard. Everyone's best dance moves on display. That goes into Estimated. Estimated, always one of my favorites on Weir. Seemed like he didn't put so much space in between verses on That or Eyes, which helps move the song forward tremendously. So the Eyes jams were just a whirlwind of sound. There was just so much going on in there. The music being made throughout this tour, just such a big sound and so much magic in there. At times you're hearing things that don't even account for an instrument that's up there. I mean, at times you're in the middle of these furious jams, you hear some fucking sheep or something. What the hell? Where'd that come from? I don't know, maybe it had something to do with the snacks at intermission, I'm not sure, but there was a lot of interesting stuff happening throughout. Oteil's solo at the end of Eyes, unbelievable. He absolutely killed it. Finished it up doing some scatting while he was thumping away. He plays it fast and furious. So much feeling. That was outstanding. From there, Drums in Space, and here you go. I'm up there. If you could look at a chart of my brain and where my time spent watching musicians, how much time has been spent, and we could map that out. I'm going to say I break Mickey's balls a lot, but if you made that pie chart, the largest piece of that pie chart would be Garcia. I've spent more time watching Garcia when he plays than any other artist in history, and for me personally, and Mickey would probably be the next biggest piece on that pie chart. Back in the day, I always had an eye on Garcia and Mickey. I watched them all the time. So I was up front for the whole weekend. I spent a lot of time with my eyes on Mickey. I absolutely love watching him do his thing. It just makes me happy watching him up there flail. Even if I can't hear shit that he's doing, it makes me happy to know he's up there doing it. And when you're up front, you do hear a lot more of Mickey than you do otherwise. I was really happy where Oteil was in the mix throughout the weekend. He finally found the volume I like to see him at. It was easy to decipher everything he was doing, and he was doing a lot of everything throughout the weekend. So it was great time there. Drums in Space. During the end of Drums in Space, up go the drones making the steely art in the sky. That's a tremendous experience, a great visual, and what an amazing thing to see there. We get the Ballad Out of Space, The Days Between. This was in our conversation from the day before. We were talking about what we probably would get. My guess was The Days Between. I thought it'd be The Days Between. Indeed it was. I thought Weir was great on it. It's a song that's deep in meaning, and we took that journey. After The Days Between, right to Cumberland, and Cumberland just absolutely furious. These guys are always magnificent on Cumberland. This was no exception. The music was just coming at you from so many different directions. This one was like getting your ass kicked by a musical millipede. I mean, you got hit so many times by so many things, you didn't even know what the hell was going on or where it was coming from at certain times. This is like being stuck in the middle of a tornado and just watching the world spin around you musically. That's what Cumberland was like. And they close it with Sugar Mags, and there you go. I like when you get Sugar Mags, Sunshine Daydream, get it all at once. And outstanding. We're hooting and hollering at the end of that, as just as we'd all expect and love. And I mean, that's just strong, strong, strong. What a great second set, and a great place to be for it at a great time in our lives. So there you go. They shut that down. That's how the set closes. Come out for the encore. You get trucking. We kind of expected that would happen. And trucking, all the elements that you'd want out of trucking. That was a great time. And it kind of really just, that end jam kind of like melted right into the broke down, which was absolutely beautiful. There you go. I mean, what an amazing experience, an amazing run, an amazing final three. I absolutely loved them. There's always gonna be people that are gonna hate everything about this. There's gonna be some people that are gonna absolutely love everything about this. No matter how good it can get, there's gonna be people that think it's shit. And as shitty as it can get, there's gonna be people think that those moments are great. But what you realize is all of it is great to somebody. You know, all of it is amazing to somebody. On a show that I might not particularly like the music, undoubtedly lives were changed forever as a result of being there that night. So as I review musical portions of shows throughout the years, you know, some folks agree, some folks don't. Some people, they want to yell at me. Some people want to high-five me. Some people want me to like it less. Some people think I should like it more. Regardless, on any given night at a dead-centered event centered around the song catalogs penned by some cover bands, but mostly by Robert Hunter and Barlow, and that when that songbook is being delivered by the musicians who have helped create this absolute dynasty that we live in, Grateful Dead land, there's always going to be somebody's life that was impacted forever as a result of the experience. The cumulative impact of all the ingredients that are there, from the music to the fans to the people to what you experience in a live music setting to the spiritual connection that comes in as a result of that. Lives are always going to be changed regardless of how I think the music comes across. And I'm just so grateful that the past 8 years for me, I've been able to spend so much time experiencing Dead & Company, feeling everything they bring to the table, meeting so many incredible people that have become important parts of my lives, our lives and my life, and how it's all unwound. This has been such a tremendous blessing to me. So whether it continues or whether it goes away, the past 8 years have been absolute magic in my life. And once again, I got to tip my hat on that to the music of the Grateful Dead. I mean, this is a totally different band, totally different sound. I get that, you know. Hey, listen, guys, Garcia been gone a long ass time. There's no replacing him. We know that. But with what's been available to us throughout the years, in my opinion, this has been the best musical product the Grateful Dead family has put out since we had Garcia. And certainly I think this final tour was certainly evidence of the quality of the music. It took them 8 years, I think, maybe to get a lot of this just exactly perfect. I mean, it takes a lot of repetition and time to kind of make all this stuff work the way it worked throughout this tour. But that hive mind was so intact, and the way the music took twists and turns, and as the band found their spots together, and with very little orchestra. When this thing started, Weir was orchestrating everything. He was pointing and directing traffic, and so everybody was just letting it go this whole tour. There wasn't a whole lot of orchestrating going on. Just the hive mind was strong, and the band was moving in the same direction most of the time together, making an incredible experience for everybody who had the ability to be part of it. I'm so grateful I was one of those people. I'm so grateful to those of you who've supported me over the past decade. I can't thank you enough. It's meant the world to me to have so much support. It's been overwhelming at times, but I love you all forever. Who knows what's next? This could be it. This could be my last send-off here could be it. If so, I want you to know that I truly appreciate you. I love you forever. I'm grateful to have been part of an amazing musical celebration. Mayor, unbelievable. He's taken a new genre of music and completely mastered so many intricacies of Grateful Dead music. He's made him his own. He's done it with his, but he's a smart dude with an amazing amount of talent, and he's been able to put this stuff together and really become a master at the psychedelic sound. I think he's been unbelievable. Jeff, he's been around forever, with Weir forever. Really the orchestrator of all things wonderful. He's just always going to be an absolute treasure, and that's the kind of guy you want in your corner if Grateful Dead music's being played, knows it inside and out. O'Teal coming to the party and just adding so much life. I hadn't seen him this free since tour 2 when he was tour 1 and 2 when he was busy experimenting with LSD and stuff. Like, he was high-fiving Satellite Store in a few of these shows. I remember Fenway back in the day, and the first run through the gorge it's just been fun to watch him find that level of freedom on stage again, dancing and having a blast and playing. And I said, naturally, to the guys who have been with us forever, We're an unbelievable gift to the musical world. So I break his balls a lot, but I sit there and I watch Weir, and I just, so my mind goes back through the, he ought to fucking smile a little bit. He's a filthy rich dude that's played music for a living and spent his entire life very wealthy in nice hotels. So, and beautiful tour buses. You'd think he could fucking smile a little bit. Wouldn't be that hard to smile. So anyway, that's his thing now. I guess he's a tough guy. So all that time in the gym. Jay Lane has transformed the sound of this band. Huge thanks to Jay. He came on board and added so much strength, power, and punch to the proceedings. It's not even funny. So I missed Kreutzmann. I definitely miss Kreutzmann. Kreutzmann go out and kill it with Billy and the kids. I can't wait to see them. I know it'll be wonderful, and I did miss him, but Jay added so much to it. You want to give a tour ball to somebody, someone gets the tour ball, might have to give that trophy to Jay Lane. He's been unbelievable and amazing throughout. He has really added a lot of power, punch, and life to the proceedings. And so there you go. It's what a blessing, huh? So Mickey, love him forever. Like I said earlier in this thing, been watching him for forever. He was always a focal point of my Grateful Dead experience back in the day, and through Dead and Company throughout. Didn't hear much from him during the music, but when you did, and even just to watch him is a blessing, and he's an absolute treasure. So there you go. I think I said my piece with all the members of the band. Absolutely had a blast over the past 8 years. I think the music has been outstanding for the most part. A few clunkers or stinkers along the way. That's going to happen, but for the most part and overall, incredibly blessed to have been part of this journey with y'all. I love you long time and forever. Maybe we'll see you in the future. Maybe not. Love you.